Hey, welcome to EPN. I'm Victor Lucas, and we are moving on into the Rocket and Raygun Awards with a new category for you right now. It is Best Racing Game of 2018. Here are EPN's nominees. Forza Horizon 4, developed by Playground Games, published by Microsoft. Horizon Chase Turbo, developed and published by Acquirus Games. Onrush, developed by Codemasters, published by Deep Silver. Burnout Paradise Remastered, developed by Criterion Games, published by Electronic Arts. The Crew 2, developed by Ivory Tower, published by Ubisoft. Some outstanding racing experiences in that list for sure, and I think we all know who's probably going to take home this Rocket and Raygun. Before I announce who the winner is going to be, though, I want to hear from our community.
Best racing game of the year, in my opinion, should be Forza Horizon 4. Not even for like the tasks that you do in the game, but I've always been a Forza fan. I've always thought that they were the best racing games out there. It's just a personal preference, of course, of the kind of racing games you like to play. For me, it's not even about the race though, it's about the fact that I can just drive. I just get in a car of my choice and just drive, and it feels good, and you have your tunes, and it is just the visceral feeling of getting behind a wheel that you could never afford yourself. But in game, you fly, baby, and that's what I do.
There's a racing game on the horizon, and that racing game is Forza Horizon 4, the best racing game of the year. Have you not seen that game? It's starting to look too real. Too real!
I say Forza Horizon 4 is the best racing game of 2018. There's plenty of cars to collect. It has a huge open world, plenty of types of racing to compete in.
Has to be Forza Horizon 4. Crazy fun, all sorts of different modes. You can play any way you really want, and it really reminds me a lot of Burnout Paradise.
Forza Horizon 4, from the open world to the amount of cars, to the level of detail, to the whole car culture that they're really creating in this whole series. The idea that racing isn't just about the cars, it's about the culture, about the music that you listen to, about everything else, like your individual character on screen. They really went in a customizing road this time around, and I really appreciated that, and I can't wait to see what they do with the next one.
The best racing game of 2018 for me is going to be Forza Horizon 4, which is something they attained by further building on the amazing Forza Horizon series. But I did want to give a small nod to my second favorite racing game of the year, which was Onrush. They did an incredible job with a super action-packed game.
I'm actually gonna give it to Onrush because it was a pretty nice surprise. It's kind of a cool fusion between Burnout and MotorStorm, and it's really cool you actually get to play with a team and you all try to get the most points by just ramming into the other team's cars, which is really awesome. By the time you're watching this video, this game is right now free on the PlayStation Plus for December, and probably afterwards it's gonna be really cheap, so I would really recommend it to just give it a shot.
The Wipeout Omega Collection got a VR patch earlier in the year, and it was fantastic. Managed to transition the game beautifully to VR without losing any fidelity, still kept the high-paced gameplay, multiplayer, action, 3 games in 1. You can't lose with that game. It's phenomenal. If you own a PSVR headset, you need to buy that. It's great.
There wasn't a lot of competition, but it doesn't matter because I think no matter what else would have been out there, Forza Horizon 4 would have been the clear winner in this category. It looks fantastic. It's a ton of fun to play. It's a super social game. It's just, it's the best of the Forza Horizon series so far.
Now, I don't think the Xbox got a lot of love this year, but it did in the racing department. Forza Horizon 4 was unbelievable. Driving around the hills of Scotland, the weather effects, the environments. I actually think it's my favorite racing game of all time.
This may not be something you've heard of, but you absolutely need to pick it up, because it is a very, very old school style racing game in the absolute best way possible. I love the fact that it's got like this real corridor aesthetic of it, where a lot of times when you're trying to race around the track, you don't need to actually weave too much. You're sort of guided along, and instead you need to worry about dodging your enemy cars, getting collectibles, and of course, using all the boosts you can to stay in first place. It is very, very addictive to sometimes just go to the same tracks over and over again, simply because you want to try and improve your best time.
Yeah, Horizon Chase Turbo is a very cool game. It sort of started life as a mobile title, and it's on the Nintendo Switch now, and I think it's on the other platforms as well. Super fun. Onrush is a completely different take on the idea of racing because it's really more about destruction and taking out your enemies, you know, clearly lifting on some great ideas from the Burnout franchise. Speaking of Burnout, Burnout Paradise Remastered from Criterion Games was a tremendous gift, and I think we need to give Electronic Arts a round of applause for even bringing this game to us. Extraordinary to play this game in 4K and just be whizzing into all of the chaos and destruction that the game provides. Beautiful experience. The Crew 2 is also loaded with lots of improvisational flair and lots of, you know, shifting from vehicle to vehicle on the fly, lots of exploration, lots of little secrets. You can take your photos all over the place. It's a gorgeous game as well for the size and scale of it. But Forza Horizon 4 is a force to be reckoned with. It's another incredible experience from Playground Games. These guys are so talented. The game is beautiful. We get, you know, changing weather patterns. We get all kinds of English and Scottish countryside. We get James Bond vehicles. It is outstanding. It's fun to play. It's got a great soundtrack. The multiplayer is incredible. The depth is there. The vehicles to collect. And it's just a great escape. It's an absolute treasure. Forza Horizon 4 is our Rocket and Raygun Award winner for Best Racing Game of 2018.